मौला तू ही आन, मौला मेरे ले मेरी जान.
To just greet the person next to you if you haven't already. Say hello to the person next to you. So they introduced me as someone who began meditating quite early, and without making it very mystical, meditation is just the art of arriving. The art of arriving, right? So we're constantly traveling in the worlds of the past and the future and what has to be done in the present. And we're entering a different world, a different dimension, the dimension of arriving. So more and more arriving. So we're here, we're seated, and some friends are looking for a place to sit. And we are seated, and the physical body is here. But how much of us is really fully here? Somebody told me a joke of this group of 100 sadhus, and they were walking toward the Himalayas. And somebody asked them, why are you walking to the Himalayas? They said, son, we are not needed here, we are going to the Himalayas. But of course you're needed, the world is in a mess, we need your wisdom. Why are you leaving our world, why are you going to the Himalayas, you're needed here? They said, no son, people get everything to WhatsApp these days. Jiddu Krishnamurti had a nice saying. He said, a truth known and not lived becomes a poison. So until now you were fine, and now you heard something, you liked it a lot, but then you're not living it. And now it starts hurting. It starts hurting from within, because we know we should. It's good for us, but we don't do it. So I don't want to add to that dysfunction, right? So I would like you to treat the session not in terms of what can I get away from the session, what can I take away from the session, but perhaps the other way around, what can I leave behind here? So instead of filling yourself up, treat it as an opportunity to empty yourself, at least for a little while. So while some people like to say that no, spirituality is not entertainment, I said no, in a way it is a kind of entertainment. In a way we use it like entertainment only. We use it as a way to take our mind away from other things. And in a way it's a very wholesome kind of connection and cleansing that's happening. Some of your best moments in life will be when you're fully embodied. Not disembodied like a ghost, but really embodied. Here, fully, present. Let's say this together. The journey is endless. The destination is now. The color of your skin, you're fair compared to someone, you're very dark compared to someone. You're rich compared to someone, you're very poor compared to someone. You're educated compared to someone, you're almost nothing compared to somebody else. You're well-read compared to someone, you're hopeless compared to somebody else. You see, every single way you describe yourself, every single adjective descriptor is always in comparison to someone else, isn't it? So then the only word that makes sense is, please say with me, I am. The eye of the storm is completely still. It's around the storm and the wall of the storm that really creates damage, but the eye of the storm is completely still. So we had interesting news reports where there would be this massive damage, and then the eye of the storm would go over the town, and the residents would say, it is more quiet and peaceful than the quietest day. It is more quiet and peaceful than the quietest day. And a few hours later, again the edge comes and again there's massive havoc and trees are... So when there are upheavals happening in our life, perhaps the point is not to get more activated. Perhaps the point is to get more still. Right? Come to the eye of the storm, come to the center. And there right away everything starts taking care of itself. The more involved we get, the more scattered we get, the more confused we get. When I was a monk, we would spend many hours a day meditating. We did not listen to music. There was no music as a monk, right? One time I was invited to India and I was staying in India. And in India, of course, music is everywhere. Like second-hand smoke music is playing everywhere. There's radios, there's everything. The music is all. And I'm not used to listening to music. I've been living in a forest for a long time. And there's certain songs that I used to like. And those songs are playing. But I notice I'm enjoying them in a different way. As the song is playing, a certain emotion arises, nostalgia arises. But instead of getting wrapped up in that song, a part of me is witnessing. I think I enjoyed that song more than I've ever enjoyed it in my life. Because I let it arise and I let it pass away without holding on to it. Everything is as it is, without comparisons, without judgment, without attachment, without expectation. All of it is already heaven.
Members, on the behalf of all the family members of our friends, we all bow down with deep gratitude. Thanks for your time. It was amazing, the experience. The last bit ended with a lot of sound waves that engulfed us in violet flame. That's definitely what has happened.